Hello everyone, in today's lesson we'll be learning about prime factorization. Before we start with the lesson, I would like to point out one thing. Make sure you know your tables properly. If you don't remember your tables, make sure you write them down on a piece of paper so that you can reference them while we are doing this. So let's begin. Before we start with this topic, it is very important for you to know that if we have an even number, then that can only be divided by either 2, 4, 6 or 8, correct? But if we have an odd number, then that can be only divided by 3, 5, 7 or 9, right? So you know, even numbers end with 2, 4, 6 or 8. So they will only be divisible by these numbers, and odd numbers end with 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So they will be only divisible by this number. So if we see that the ending number is 2, 4, 6 or 8, we know we have to divide by one of these numbers. But if we see our end number is 3, 5, 7 or 9, then we know that we'll only divide by one of these numbers. So how do we find prime factor of a number? So as I said in the starting of the video, that we need to look at the end number. So our end number, if it's 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then we know it's divisible by 2. So in this case we got 24. We know our end number is 4, hence it is divisible by 2. So whatever number that you are dividing with, which is the 2, you need to write on the left side. So what is 24 divided by 2? So you have 24 divided by 2. When you say what is 24 divided by 2, the answer is 12, correct? So 24 divided by 2, you write a 12 here. Again, what is the ending number? 2. So we know that it's divisible by 2. Again, we need to come and divide by 2. So what is 12 divided by 2? 12 divided by 2 gives us a 6. Correct? So therefore we write a 6. Again, the end number is 6. So 6 is divisible by 2, right? Therefore, divide by 2. So what is 6 divided by 2? The answer is 3, right? So we write a 3 here. Now we got a 3 here. The end number is 3. Is 3 divisible by 2? No, 3 cannot be divided by 3. So therefore we write what? We write a 3. Because 3 divided by 3. So what is 3 divided by 3? The answer is 1. Therefore we have a 1 here. So the moment we reach 1, we know that's the end of our prime factor. So we need to stop there. So now what are our prime factors? If you look at this side, all the numbers that you have this side, these are all your prime factors, right? So I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So that's all my prime factor. Therefore my final answer is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Because 1, 2, 3, we got 3 2's and 3, right? So we just need to multiply them. This is my prime factors. How do I know if my answer is correct? In prime factors, there's a trick where you can check if your answer is correct or not. You simply multiply the prime factors, and when you multiply them, you should get your answer as 24. So whatever your question was, after you multiply the prime factors, you should get that question back. So let's see if that's true in our case. So what is 2 times 2? So if you say 2 times 2, our answer is 4, right? 2 times 2 is 4. Now what is 4 times 2? Our answer is 8, right? And then finally, what is 8 times 3? We know our answer is 24. So therefore, our prime factors are right because we get our final answer as 24. Let me repeat this again, guys. If you want to master this topic, make sure you know your tables properly. If you don't know them, try to memorize them or have a paper next to you where you are referencing from there in order to get to your answer. So please make sure you know your tables properly in order to master this topic. Let's move on to example 1. So we need to find the prime factors of 32, right? So let's begin by writing 32. Then we need the 2 dots, right? So now in the starting of the video, I said that if a number ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, you know that number is divisible by 2. We can see 32 ends with a 2, so it's a divisible by 2. So we need to divide 32 by 2. So whatever you are dividing by, you need to write it on the left side. And on the right, what is 32 divided by 2? 16, right? Therefore you write a 16 here. Now again you start from here. There is a 16 here. What's the n number? 6. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. 6 comes in there. That means it's divisible by 2 as well. So you're going to divide that by 2. So if you divide 16 by 2, what do you get? 8. Again 8. The end number is 8. You know 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 is also part of it. Therefore we divide by 2 that one also. So when you divide that by 2, you get your answer as 4. Again 4. Is 4 divisible by 2? Yes, because it does comes in 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So if you divide 4 by 2, you get your answer as 2. Then finally, is 2 divisible by 2? Yes. Therefore we come and write a 2 here and you get your 1. So now the moment you reach 1, that's you know that you need to stop at that point. So now what are your prime factors? So all the numbers that you see on this side, these are all your prime factors, right? So you need to write them in terms of 2 times, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Times 2, times 2, times 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, times 2. After you get your prime numbers, you can even confirm if your answer is wrong or right. So all the prime factors you get, after you multiply them, you should get 32. Okay, so let's start. What is 2 times 2? That's a 4, right? What is 4 times 2? That's a 8. What is 8 times 2? That's a 16. And what is 16 times 2? 32. So did you see? When we multiply all these 2's, we need to get 32. So after you get your prime factors, you can even confirm if your answer is right or wrong by just multiplying them, and that should give you whatever your answer, whatever your question was. So you can see that your answer is right. So in this, you got a trick to find out if your prime factors are right or wrong. Just simply multiply your prime factors and you should get what your question was. So that was number 1. Let's do more examples so you can get used to that. So now, what are the prime factors of 48? So let's find out. We got our number is 48. Again, what's the ending number? It falls under 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Therefore, it's divisible by 2, correct? So let's go and divide that by 2. So if we divide 48 by 2, we get our answer as 24, right? So that's 24. Again, if you divide 24, what are we dividing 24 by? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. It falls under the 2 division. Therefore, we divide by 2. If we divide 24 by 2, we get our answer as 12. Now, what can we divide 12 with? It ends with a 2. That means it's divisible by 2. So we're going to divide that by 2 as well. And we get our answer as 6. Now the number ends with 6. So it is divisible by 2. Therefore, we write our number as 2. How many times? What? 6 divided by 2? That's a 3. Now finally, we got 3. What can we divide 3 with? Can we divide by 2? No, we cannot, right? Because the number ends with a 3. So if it's 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, then it's only divisible by 3. So we divide 3 by 3 and we get our answer as 1, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So now we need to stop. Why? Because we reached 1. So the moment we reach 1, we know that we have reached our end point. So what is our prime factors? These are all your prime factors. So you can write them as, how many 2's you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the prime factors are 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and finally the 3. Is our answer correct? Let's check it, right? So let's multiply the prime factors. We should get a 48. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And 16 times 2 is 48. Therefore, we know that our answer is correct. So the prime factors of 48 are 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Let's move on to the next example. So what are the prime factors of 56? Let's find out. So we got 56. As you can see, the ending number is 6. So it means it's divisible by 2. Therefore, we'll be dividing 56 by 2. So if we divide 56 by 2, what do you get? 28, right? So you have your 28. Again, now, if you have 28, you know your ending number is 8. So if you divide 28 by 2, you get your answer as 14. Correct? Now you got your number as 14 I mean. So the last digit is 4. What is that divisible by? 2, correct? So therefore we divide that by 2 and we get our answer as 7. We got 7 as our end digit, but we cannot divide 7 by 3, right? So therefore, what do? We can divide that by 7 itself. So if you divide 7 by 7, you get 1. So the moment you reach 1, you know that's the end of your prime factors. So what are your prime factors? All the numbers on the left side. So your prime factors are 2. How many 2's we have? 1, 2, 3. 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. Is our answer correct? How do we know? We simply multiply the prime factors. Therefore, what is 2 times 2? 4. What is 4 times 2? 8. And what is 8 times 7? 56. Therefore, we get 56. So, our prime factors are 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. So, what are the prime factors of 75? As you can see, 75 is an odd number because it ends with a 5. So, this can either be divided by 3, 5, 7 or 9. So, can 75 be divided by 3? So, if you punch it in your calculator, yes, it can be, right? So, if we divide 75 by 3, we get our answer as 25, right? So, 25, is it an even number or odd number? It's an odd number. So, therefore, it is divisible by either 3, 5, 7 or 9. Can 25 be divisible by 3? No, it cannot be. Can 25 be divisible by 5? Yes, it can be divisible by 5. So, if we divide 25 by 5, we get our answer as 5, right? Because 5 times 5 gives us 25. Again, is 5 even or odd? 5 is an odd number. So, can it be divisible by 3? No. Let's move on to 5. Can it be divisible by 5? Yes, it can be divisible by 5. Therefore, what is 5 divided by 5? We get our answer as 1. So, we stop now because we reached 1. So, what is our prime factors? Our prime factors are 3 times 5 times 5. How do we know our answer is correct or not? We simply multiply our prime factors. So, what is 3 times 5? That gives us a 15. What is 15 times 5? That gives us a 75. Therefore, 75 was our question. So, our prime factors are correct. Hence, our answer is 3 times 5 times 5. Let's move on to the next example. So, what are the prime factors of 104? So, we can see 104 is an even number, right? Because it ends with a 4. So, it means it's either divided by 2, 4, 6 or 8, right? So, let's divide it by 2. So, if you divide 104 divided by 2, you get your answer as 52, right? Now, 52, is it even or odd? It's an even, right? Ends with a 2. So, it means, can it be divisible by 2? Yes. So, if you divide by 2, we get our answer as 26. Again, 26, is it divisible by 2? Yes, right? So, therefore, we divide by 2. What is 26 divided by 2? That's a 13. Now, coming to 13, we know it's an odd number, right? So, can it be divisible by 3, 5, 7 or 9? We can see it's not divisible by any of those numbers. So, what do? It is simply divisible by itself. So, therefore, we divide 13 by 13. So, what is 13 divided by 13? We get a 1. So, now we need to stop. Why? Because we have reached 1. So, what are our prime factors? Everything on the left side are our prime factors. So, therefore, our prime factors are 1, 2 and 3. So, we got 2 times 2 times 2 times 13. So, let's see if our answer is correct. How do we check if our answer is correct? We simply multiply our prime factors, right? So, what is 2 times 2? That's a 4. What is 4 times 2? That's a 8. And what is 8 times 13? 8 times 13 gives us 104. Therefore, our prime factors are correct. Hence, our answer is this. Let's move on to the next example. So, what are the prime factors of 36? As you can see, 36 is an even number. So, it means it's either divisible by 2, 4, 6 or 8. But we need to first take the smallest divisor, right? The smallest divisor is 2. So, what is 36 divided by 2? That's a 18, right? Now, again, 18 is an even number, right? So, it's divisible by 2, 4, 6 or 8. So, smallest divisor is 2. What is 18 divided by 2? That's a 9. Now, moving on to 9, we can see 9 is not an even number, but it's a odd number. So, odd numbers can only be divisible by 3, 5, 7 or 9. So, what's the smallest divisor? That's a 3, right? So, therefore, 9 divided by 3. So, what is 9 divided by 3? It gives us a 3, because 3 times 3 is a 9. If we move on to 3, 3 is also our odd number. So, what is 3 divisible by? 3 is divisible by itself. So, 3 divided by 3 is 1. And now we know that we have reached our end because we have reached 1. So what are our prime factors? Everything on the left side are our prime factors. Therefore our answer is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 is our answer, right? Let's check it. So let's multiply our prime factors. What is 2 times 2? 2 times 2 gives us a 4. So now what is 4 times 3? 4 times 3 gives us a 12. And what is 12 times 3? That gives us a 36. Therefore our question was 36. So our prime factors are correct. Hence the answer is this. So let's move on to the next example. So what are the prime factors of 84? As you can see, 84 is an even number. So it means it's divisible by 2, 4, 6 or 8. But we need the smallest divisor. So what is the smallest divisor? That is a 2, right? So if we divide 84 by 2, we get our answer as 42. Correct? Now we got a 42. Is 42 even or odd? We know it's an even number. So now, again, what's the smallest divisor of even number? 2, right? So if we divide 42 by 2, we get our answer as 21. But now, 21 is an odd number. So what's the smallest divisor of an odd number? The smallest divisor of an odd number is a 3. So what is 21 divided by 3? That's a 7, correct? Now finally we reach to 7, right? So 7 is an odd number. So what's the smallest divisor? 3. But 7 divided by 3, we cannot get an answer without a remainder. So therefore 3 doesn't work. Then we move to the next one, which is 5. 7 divided by 5. Again, we cannot get an answer without a remainder, right? So therefore 5 also doesn't work. And the next number is 7 itself. So if you divide 7 by 7, you get your answer as 1, because 7 divided by 7 is 1. And hence you conclude that. Why? Because you have reached 1. So what are your prime factors? Everything on the left side is your prime factors. So your prime factors are 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. Again, is our answer correct? What do we do in order to check our answer? We simply multiply our prime factors and then we should get whatever our question was, correct? So what is 2 times 2? 2 times 2 gives us a 4. What is 4 times 3? 4 times 3 gives us a 12. And what is 12 times 7? 12 times 7 gives us a 84. So our final answer is this. Let's move on to the next example. So what are the prime factors of 216? As you can see, 216 is an even number, right? So what is the smallest divisor of an even number? That's a 2. So if we divide 216 by 2, we get our answer as 108, right? So now again, 108 is an even number, right? The smallest divisor of an even number is a 2. So if you divide 108 by 2, you get your answer as 54, right? Again, 54 is an even number, correct? So therefore it's a divisible by 2 as well, right? Because that's the smallest divisor. So what is 54 divided by 2? That's 27, right? But now, when we look at 27, it's an odd number, right? So its divisors are 3, 5, 7 and 9. So what's the smallest divisor? The smallest divisor is a 3. So if you divide 27 by 3, you get your answer as 9, correct? 9 is even or odd? It's an odd number, right? So can it be divisible by the smallest divisor of odd numbers? Yes, it is divisible by 3. So what is 9 divided by 3? It gives us a 3, correct? Again, 3. 3 can be divisible by 3. Therefore, we get our answer as 3 and 1. Finally, we have reached 1. So that's where we know that we need to conclude with our answer. So what is our prime factors? All the numbers on the left side. So therefore, our answer is 2 times 1, 2, 3. We got 3 twos times 2 times 2. How many 3s we got? 1, 2, 3. Times 3 times 3 times 3. Is our answer correct? What do? We need to multiply our prime factors in order to see if we get our question back, right? So what is 2 times 2? That gives us a 4. What is 4 times 2? That gives us a 8. What is 8 times 3? That gives us a 24. What is 24 times 3 is 72. And 72 times 3 is 216. Hence, we can see that we got our question back. Therefore, our final answer is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Let's move on to the next example. So what are the prime factors of 60? As we can see, 60 is an even number, right? So it means it can be divisible by 2, 4, 6 or 8. The smallest divisor is 2. So we can divide 60 by 2. So if we say 60 divided by 2, we get our answer as 30, right? Now 30 is also an even number and it can be divisible by 2, 4, 6 or 8. So what's the smallest divisor? The smallest divisor is 2. So what is 30 divided by 2? You get your answer as 15. Now if you look at 15, that's a odd number. So it means it can be either divided by 3, 5, 7 or 9. So 15 divided by 3, it gives us a 5, right? 5 times 3 is 15. Now moving on to 5. 5 is also a odd number. What's the smallest divisor of 5? 3. No, it cannot be 3, right? Why? Because 5 divided by 3 gives us an answer with a remainder, right? Therefore it can be only divisible by 5, because 5 divided by 5 gives us a 1, and that's where we know we need to stop. Why? Because we have reached 1. So what are our prime factors? Everything on the left side. So what are our prime factors? 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Is that a correct answer? We need to check, right? So what do? We just multiply the prime factors and we need to get the question, right? So what is 2 times 2? That gives us a 4. What is 4 times 3? That gives us a 12. And what's 12 times 5? That gives us a 60. Hence, we can confirm that our answer is correct because it takes us back to the question. So this is the answer for number 9. Let's move on to the next example. So what are the prime factors of 720? So as you can see, 720, it's an even number. So it can be either divided by 2, 4, 6 or 8. So what is the smallest divisor of 720? We can see that's a 2, right? So what is 720 divided by 2? That gives us a 360, correct? Now 360 is also an even number. So the smallest divisor of an even number here is 2. What is 360 divided by 2? That gives us 180. Now we got 180, that's a even number. So the smallest divisor of even number is 2. What is 180 divided by 2? That gives us a 90, right? 90 again, it's an even number, correct? So the smallest divisor of even number is 2. So what is 90 divided by 2? That gives us a 45. Now 45, is it even or odd? We can see it's odd, right? It ends with a 5. So what is the smallest divisor of an odd number? So we can see that's a 3. So how many times? 15, because 45 divided by 3 gives us a 15, correct? Again, 15 is an odd number. So what's the smallest divisor of an odd number? That's a 3. So what is 15 divided by 3? That gives us a 5. Finally, 5, it's an odd number, right? So what's the smallest divisor of 5? 3? No, it cannot be 3, right? Because 5 divided by 3 gives us an answer with a remainder, right? Or answer with a comma, right? So therefore it cannot be 3. It's a 5, right? So therefore 5 divided by 5 gives us an answer as 1. And that's where we stop. Why? Because we have reached 1. So what is our answer? Everything on the left side is the answer. How many 2's we got? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 3's times 3 times 3 times 5. Hence our final answer is this. Is our answer correct? Let's go and check, right? So what is 2 times 2? That's a 4. What's 4 times 2? That's a 8. What's 8 times 2? 16, right? What's 16 times 3? 48, right? What's 48 times 3? That's 144, right? And what's 144 times 5? That gives us 720. That was the answer for the final example. I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. And I'm certain that you guys now know how to do prime factorization. If you need more examples on prime factorization, please comment down in the comment box below. Please like my videos and share with your friends. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, please study and stay safe.